You know what I just thought about? A lot of people might be young and didn't pay attention to politics, but I just linked the cabal using the politics. It's very easy. And it all starts with Liz Cheney, right? How significant is she? Let's talk about it. Who is Liz Cheney? She is the daughter of one Dick Cheney. Who is Dick Cheney? He was the vice president for Baby Bush, George Bush Jr., okay, who ran against Al Gore, who was the vice president for Bill Clinton. And that was the last janky election we had, where it went down to Florida, where Jeb Bush, another Bush family member, was the governor, and it came to what? Ballots and hanging chads. The whole election came down to that, all right? And that's so significant because guess who was the daddy of climate change and global warming? Gore, Al Gore. So he pushed his climate change and his global warming one way or the other. But why was it so significant? Why was it so important to get Bush Jr. back into office? Because Daddy Bush got knocked out of office from Bill Clinton, whose vice president was Al Gore, and his wife is Hillary. Look at this cabal, how it just all intertwines. So Daddy Bush got us into a war in Iraq because he had some unfinished business with Saddam Hussein, apparently. Because Daddy Bush was not only the vice president for Reagan, who almost got assassinated, but he was also head of the CIA back in the day. So George Bush Senior, needed to get Junior back in the office. What happened shortly after he jankily won the office from Gore? 9/11. What happened after that? They went to Afghanistan and then back to Iraq. Now let's go back to why Dick Cheney's so important, because he wasn't even in politics. He was the CEO of Halliburton who got all the contracts. Now I don't remember the name of the movie, but it had that kid from Superbad and The Wolf of Wall Street, the little chunky Jewish guy. He was in there, okay? And he explained how Halliburton kind of had a monopoly, and it all goes into, I don't want to get into it. But anyway, the CEO of Halliburton and Bush Jr. were there during 9/11, what got us back into Iraq. Isn't this so ironic? Now let's flash forward to the current situation we're in right now with Joe Biden. Who was he? Vice president to who? Obama, who never pulled us out of any of these wars and dropped more bombs than any president in history of the presidencies. Look it up. Dude was a warmonger. We just didn't pay attention because we were over here in America. We're fat and happy as they were lulling us to sleep. What else was Obama connected to? Oh, he had Dr. Fauci, who was working the entire time. He was there during the AIDS epidemic, all the stuff that we've been through. Now he's here, flash forward to 2020, and he comes out with what happened. What did Obama and Fauci do during that time? They were ordered to remove their labs that they had with the gain of function out of Carolina, and they moved it to where? Wuhan. It's all just one big cabal, pulling out things, making things when they needed it. Oh, Trump won. That wasn't supposed to happen. Who was supposed to win? Hillary. Everybody knew it was there. I even voted for Hillary. So they had agendas, and just in case something didn't happen, it looks like they decided to pull old Fauci out of the closet and show you what they had in store just in case, the cabal. And they did that in 2020, and now we can look back at it all and see exactly what they did. And I pulled this in the card reading, the Trump card reading, and many other card readings. I showed you we'd see the attack. And right now, Anomaly and Alex Jones are going after Trump. They're mad at him because he promoted the juice. I said this, it was a perfect catch-22. He has to promote it, because if not, he's the evil guy. He's the evil man. But because he promoted the juice, he promoted the jab. Isn't it so funny that he has thorns, the white swans? Because these innocent, how many people went out and got it? I'm in public again. I'm back to work. And I'm going to tell you right now, if he doesn't sign those porcuous bills, I don't get my unemployment. They put a lot of us out of work. A lot of us were like this at the start of the Rona, getting hit by daggers. I had no idea that I would be out of work for 2 years. So he had to sign those bills. And if he never approved that juice, that jab, they would have never released. This cloud would have never been able to release on us, because they came with these daggers to stab and poke us. And because they were able to do it and Trump did it, they couldn't demonize Trump for supporting it. They had to go along with it. They needed Trump. Trump was their best weapon. Trump was the best weapon they ever had, because they used the media. They used their late night show hosts. They used all their things in their power to attack this man and put it all on him. So when he supported the jab, they had to go along with it. And people needed 2 2 to 3 pokes just to wake up, just like this swan needed a couple pokes and jabs just to wake him up. You see the power of the tarot? I pulled this in mini card readings. It was showing me, I saw the path, I saw the enlightenment's coming. Now the information is coming. Now we can be enlightened of the attack that we were on, because in 2020 I had no idea we were going to be up against this attack. I did have a little bit of idea because the universe was putting me into meditations. It told me the war of the whispers. I didn't know what that meant. That was the war of information. That was me talking to you, making videos, enlightening you, and I had to use the tarot to be this type of aspect. And the reason I have this card in this deck and I pulled it for this time is because that's the way the tarot is. And the other thing the Cabal wants to do is knock you off your destiny. That's why sometimes I tell you about a family member and other people and going to psychics and how they told me I had to walk a certain path, because at one point I was like this until the little bluebird of enlightenment woke me up. And now I'm using the power of the tarot, stepping into my destiny to spread the information that people need to hear. All right? And it's so funny that they use the media, because the other day people were calling me, people were telling me at work that, oh, Tijuana's in a gang war. The cartels are taking over. They're trading power. Understand there's no guns allowed in Mexico. And the last time I saw somebody with a gun in Mexico was in my friend's neighborhood who was south of Tijuana. And they got in a shootout, and I saw bullet holes the size of my eyeball. I walked up to them and looked in the house. They annihilated that house. It was a concrete house, and they just annihilated it. Okay, this military and these cops down here, if they see a gun, they will shoot on spot. They will shoot first and ask questions later. So I took a video and I walked around in the middle of the night just to show you how stupid it was, because the media is trying to pump so much fear into the world right now that it grabbed the story and said drug cartels are running wild in Mexico, when really the truth was it was just these taxis, because Mexico still is a crazy place to live. These taxi drivers are so uptight right now and so scratching for the territory and the little bit of American dollars they can get transporting you from the border to wherever you need to go, usually just Revolution. That's why I walked on Revolution. That was Revolution Avenue at 11:30, 12 at night to show you nothing's happening. The cops got it handled. That was just a couple of taxi drivers going hog ham on each other, and I explained that in the Taxi Wars of Tijuana. All right? So don't believe everything just because you hear it, because my son's mom, all the way from Washington State, said, is everything going okay down there with the curfews? And I said, I sent her that video, and I said, this is why I went out 11:30 at night to show you that it was all BS. The media wants to be mentally fatigue us. It wants to beat us. It's like it's just been pounding us in the ribs the last couple years, because it wants to mentally break us using their number one weapon, the media and propaganda, pushing fear, okay? Fear, you pay attention to fear. You listen to fear. They can control you with fear. And that's the arm of the cabal. And now you can see how this cabal intertwines into all of these politicians. And now it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. George Bush was a Republican. We can see it now. And this is why Liz Cheney being ejected is just the start of a wave that is soon to come and show the attack that has been on us for many of years. With that being said, talk to you later. Peace out.